morning you guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we are in for a very interesting one because we'll be discussing all the 26 books or series that I want to read in 2026, and honestly we have quite a list, so grab your drinks, make yourself comfortable. I got my Starbucks, the new pistachio velvet latte, and I absolutely love it. So without further ado, let's get on into this video. But let me tell you about the list that I've created for 2026. So this list has a lot of controversial things. So first of all, it's not a complete new releases list. So we have new releases I want to get my hands on, but at the same time we have books that have been released previously and I just want to read them, or books that have been released previously in series that I've already started and I just want to keep going. So we're gonna have brand new books and releases and books previously released at the same time. We're also gonna have series and standalones. So either we have continuity of series and we have books of series if we already started it, or we have brand new books for a series that we are continuing reading, or even standalones. So, or even starting new series, to be honest. So we have kind of a mix, and I think it's keeping it quite interesting. For gender's aspect of it, we have a lot of options. So we have fantasy, romantasy, dark romance, contemporary romance, cowboy romance. We have a little bit of everything, even sports romance. So it's quite a full list, and it's quite touching on every subject that I like, which is really, really good. And honestly, that keeps me on my toes and super excited. For book number one, or series number one, we have one that I already started because I made it my goal to read this year, this series, because it just meant something to me, okay? I just really wanted. So we have Boys of Torment by Chloe Walsh, and honestly, I'm loving it. I'm on book number one, which is Binding 13, and I'm absolutely loving it. I think my last update was last night on my Goodreads, so go take a look at that. But I'm absolutely loving it, and her writing is like anything else I've ever seen. It's absolutely incredible. I don't even know how to explain it. It makes sense to me, it just speaks to me, and I love it. So I'm loving the story, I'm loving the characters, I'm honestly loving everything about this, except that it's quite a big heartbreak coming. We have, I think there are 6, 7. I'm looking because I have them right there. I think there are 6 books, counting with the one I have. We have at least 6 books, and they are quite big, but they are easy to read. Her writing is quite fluent, and it's quite nice and flowy, and it's really nice. So I think we might manage, but we are in for heartbreak. So I need to prepare the tissues because you guys were not kidding when you warned me about this, but I still went and dived in head first. So we started on that, but that is our first books series actually, because this contemplates the whole series, which is Boys of Torment, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm super excited about that, but I'm not gonna say too much because I want to give you an update on why and how am I doing with this book. For spot number 2, we have a series that is also being released. At the moment it has 2 books, and I'm talking about the Fae and Alchemy series by Kali Hart. This contemplates the Quicksilver and Brimstone. So Brimstone kind of released at the end of 2025, and it was such a big book in the end of the year, and it had such a hype, and honestly I feel like I'm missing out. So I really want to get into the book and get into the story and know what this is about. I literally know nothing about the story, and that keeps me excited, I'm not gonna lie. So I think I'm gonna read it in my Kindle, and then if I like it, get special editions and get them on my bookshelves, just because I think the covers are cute, the first one, but then the second one doesn't really continue the idea of the first cover. So I want to keep the covers as neat as possible and as like in the theme as possible. So we're gonna read it on Kindle first and then move and have copies if I like them. And honestly, I'm excited. This dives a little bit into the fantasy. We are reading contemporary romance with the Boys of Torment, and then This is going to bring kind of the fantasy and romantasy side for the first time in our list, which is quite exciting. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm very excited for these two books. For our spot number 3, we have another series. So for this one, I chose just to read the first book and see how I feel, to see if I really want to continue instead of selecting the whole series. So we have Wolf King by Lauren Palfreyam. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but if I didn't, I do apologize. English is not my first language, remember that, guys. But this is The Wolf King, book number 1. So this book had such a hype back in BookTok, really, and overall, just general TikTok. It just had such a hype and everyone said it was really good. However, on the second book, several people highlighted it goes more into a love triangle instead of one love interest book, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that. So I think it's one of those things that it really depends on the story. It really depends. I'm not opposed to it at all. It's just not, I cannot say it's not my vibe. It's not that. Because, for example, it happens in Blend and Ash and I don't mind it, but it's just one of those situations that you really have to see with the book and with the story. How is it going? Does it make sense to that story or not? So I only selected the first book to see how I feel about it, if I get the vibes, if I can go along with it, and then kind of see if I want to read the second book or not, and the third, because I believe there's a third coming out. But this is our spot number 3, and I think we are going somewhere, and that somewhere is going to be really nice. For our spot number 4, we're gonna get out of our fantasy and dive into dark romance and morally great characters. So this is a series that I've already started. I read book number 1 and I selected book number 2 to see if I really want to keep going with the series. The series is actually quite big. I think it has 7, maybe more books. And this is The Windsors, book number 2, which is The Temporary Wife, and it's written by Katerina Mora. So the series is The Windsors by Katerina Mora. I read the first book and I read it in less than 24 hours, so it was quite a good and easy read. I absolutely loved it, and I want to see how the rest of the series goes. To be honest, the characters are quite interesting, so I'm really excited to see how the next characters are going to develop, and I'm excited about that. But at the same time, it's such a big series and I don't want to, get bored in the middle and then don't finish the series. So let's see how the second book goes, and then we'll see if we continue or if we completely give up from this series. For our book number 5, we're gonna dive into contemporary romance, and this author is very well known for her fantasy work. However, I've been a girly of contemporary romance along my teenage years. I would absolutely devour anything contemporary romance, and I want to jump in and see how this author writes in that. Everyone says it's really good, so honestly I'm excited. We had The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. We all know Rebecca by her work at Fort Wing, and it's such an amazing book. It's my favorite series of all times, so honestly I'm excited to see how she writes in contemporary romance, and I think it's gonna deliver heartbreak. So I'm not really sure where we're going with all this heartbreak in 2026, but first, something is for sure, I really want to read her contemporary romance and her work in contemporary romance. It just appeals to me. It just feels right. So I want to try and read this book and see how I feel. I feel like I need to prepare like a big tissue box for 2026, and one of these books, one of the reasons is going to be this book. So I'm not gonna lie, guys, I've already started this series and the release was last year, so we haven't had a new release in this list yet, but I didn't have time, okay? It was one of the books that I wanted to read in December and I simply did not have time. I do love every single series from this author. I've read them all and I love them all, and the first book in the series was really good. So I think this one's gonna be as good. But we have The Defender by Anna Wang, and this is the Gods of the Game series. This is book number 2. So I love sports romance and I loved her first book in this series, so I'm hoping the second is really good, and for what I've heard it is, but I just need to kind of get into the mood of going back to Anna Wang. So we're gonna see. I'm not sure when I'm going to read this. Hopefully soon. I do have the book with me at my house, so it's just a matter of picking it up really. But this is our book number 6. For our book number 7, we have finally a brand new release coming this year. We have The Daisy Chain Flower Shop by Laurie Gilmore, and this is the Dream Arbor book number 6. You guys know that I'm obsessed with this series. It's probably one of my all-time favorites. I don't know why, I just love it. I find it so cute, and I love the characters to bits. I absolutely love it. So this is the book number 6. So it's a big series, but they are really easy to read. The last one I finished was in Christmas, and I gave it a 4.5 stars, maybe 5 stars. I'm not sure, but it was really good. And I loved it, and I usually love every single book, and I cannot wait for her to finish the series so I can have them all stacked like next to each other in my bookshelves. It's gonna look so cute. So this is expected on May 5th, 2026. So it's kind of a spring summerish book, and honestly I'm excited. For a book number 8, I think. Are we in book number 8? Yes, we are. So for book number 8, this is a book part of the series. I'm not gonna lie, I have the whole series. It's again a sports romance. I've never read it. It's a complete series, I believe. The last release was quite recent, so I think it's quite a completed series. However, I'm not sure how I feel about it. So we have Consider Me by Becca Mack. This is the Playing for Keeps book number 1. So I really wanted to get into this book and this series when I got it, and then I saw the reviews and I was like, oh, I'm not so sure anymore. But then I already had the whole series, so I want to make sure this year I try the series and see how I feel. If I really don't like and something puts me off book number 1, I think I'm just gonna cut it. However, I do love that I bought the whole series, because have you seen the covers of the series? It's absolutely insane. So I love it, and I'm sure I'm gonna love it when I put it up in my bookshelf. So actually, it's not a bad thing that I bought the whole series, because now I get to have a lot of lovely covers even if I don't like the books. So we're gonna give it a try. So this is, I think, a 5 book series, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna see and start with book number 1, see how we feel, and if I really don't like it, I'm just gonna cross it off. For a book number 9, we have a brand new release, and we're gonna keep going in the vibes of the sports romance. So we have Unbound by Peyton Corin. So this is book number 3 of the Undone series, and I loved book number 1 and book number 2. Those books were actually insane, heartbreaking but insane, and I love them, absolutely love them. So this is coming out 7th of April 2026, and I feel like it's such a good time to read sports romance, especially because she has such a flowery writing. I love it. It just screams spring and summer, and I'm all in for it. For the next spot on the list, for number 10, we have a series which includes a brand new release. So I've read this series when I was sick, and honestly it was probably one of the only things that kept me going on that week that I was very ill. And we have The Baby Dragon Bakery. This is the Baby Dragon series by A.T. Qureshi, and this is book number 2. So book number 2 is already out. I just haven't gotten my hands on it yet, but I'm gonna get it, and I wanna get it soon, because the next book, which is The Baby Dragon Bookshop, is coming out on February 12th, 2026. So I wanna make sure I get that one too, because honestly, I just love this series so much. It was so cute. I didn't know what to do with myself. I just wanted a baby dragon. I absolutely loved it, and it's quite easy to read. They are quite small books, so they are quite easy to read, and I love that. So honestly, I'm excited to get book number 3, but for that I need to read book number 2. So technically it's a series with a brand new release in it, and this is for our spot number 10. For our spot number 11, we have a book that it's been released in 2025, and it got such hype and actually won a Goodreads Choice Awards. And what I'm talking about, Alchemized by Stanley New, and this book had such a hype and such good reviews in the book talk community, in the Goodreads community, in every single community and their mother. literally everyone read this book and everyone loved it. However, they did say it delivers heartbreak and it's dark, like dark. So again, I'm not really sure where we're going in 2026, but it's looked like we are diving in and headfirst into a pit of sadness. So this one was just for the count. So this one came out last year and I definitely want to read it. I think I'm gonna read it in my Kindle first and then again, because it's such a big book and it's not easy to carry around to read like I do when I go for work. So I think, I'm 100% sure that we're gonna get it on Kindle, and then if I like it, I'm gonna get the special editions. But it's not bad for this spot. For book number 12, we have a brand new release, and if I tell you this is my most anticipated read of 2026, this is true, because I read the previous book in 2025 and it left me in a cliffhanger that I could hang myself with. So that's how bad it was. So we have Light Wilder from Rachel Schneider. This is Fire and Metal book number 2. It comes out on the 9th of June 2026, and I'm just gonna say I'm dying to get this book, and that's all I'm going to say, because the plot twist on the previous book plotted so hard that I'm not over it yet. So, because I'm not over it yet, we're not gonna talk about it. We're gonna keep it quiet and accept the reality, which is I'm dying to get this book, and it comes in the middle of summer, so we still have a few months to wait. For book number 13, we have another brand new release, and this one I know I'm going to love. I absolutely love the first one, but I'm not gonna lie and I'm not gonna go too long about it because I'm gonna get emotional. We have The Ballad of the Falling Dragons. This is Moonfall, book number 2. The first book is When the Moon Hatched, book, which is book number 1. And I cried my eyes out. That book, again, I've tried to record this part of the video so many times. I don't know why, that book just got me. So we're not going to talk too much about it because otherwise I'm going to ruin the whole setup. But this is coming out in 19th of May 2026, which is quite a good time to read a lot of fantasy. And I'm going to be really excited when it comes out. I just hope I'm not going to be as heartbroken as I was in book number 1, because that shit destroyed me. When she hears the dragons and they screams and they suffering, it really destroyed me, and I did not know what to do with myself at the time, and I know I'm gonna be in the same position this time. So this is written by Sarah A. Parker, and she just writes so perfectly well that I love it, and I keep coming back for more. Heartbreak, that's what I'm coming back for, but still. I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I'll see you in the next one. I love you. Bye.